Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one, Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two, on bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy. Yeah.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three, the moss covered, three-handle family credential.
Mamma mia!
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin! It was me all along, Austin!
number four, armbar.
I will never retire!
I still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I am your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Sunday. You know what that means. Psych, it's not all the rest. We're doing a bonus King of Sports episode because this is a very special Sunday. It is Sunday, the 6th of January, which means yesterday was the 5th of January, which means the day before was the 4th of January, and you know what that means. It was Wrestle Kingdom. So I'm joined, of course, by big boy Mikey. How are you, Mikey?
Ooh, what a crazy last, 24 hours? Holy shit.
A bit longer than 24 hours, because, I mean, we're talking, 29 hours. Yeah.
Yeah, let's say
So
30 hours.
we're recording this, 30 hours, just to be safe. We are recording this immediately after New Year's Dash has finished, and New Year's Dash, we decided we wanted to sort of wait for New Year's Dash before we talk, because Wrestle Kingdom is Wrestle Kingdom, right? It's the season finale. And New Year's Dash the very next day. You don't have to wait 3 months or 6 months for the next season to start. It happens the very next day at New Year's Dash. And everything sort of gets into position and the pieces start to realign on the chessboard and we get to see what New Japan's going to look like in the following year, in this case in 2019. So we thought we'll do the two together. We'll do the podcast for Sunday. And so New Year's Dash is finished and, man, 2019 looks interesting. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, looks interesting. And I'm going to disagree with a lot of people out there. We'll talk about it right through this cast. We'll talk about it on the cast on Wednesday. I believe New Japan is in very safe hands. Yes, they've lost some quote-unquote star power. However, no. Like, New Japan is in safe hands. They've built these relationships with healthy companies. They're fine. And I love from what we've seen in the last 30 hours, I love where they're going. I
don't think I'd put it in quote unquote that they've lost star power. They have absolutely lost star power. I mean, and we don't know for sure yet. We don't know how things are going to shake out, but definitely after Wrestle Kingdom, let's just get straight into the spoilers. Every single title that was on the line changed hands at Wrestle Kingdom. Kenny Omega is now titleless. Cody Rhodes is now titleless. Everyone involved in All Elite Wrestling, or possibly involved in All Elite Wrestling, lost titles. And so it looks as though, because there was not zero mention, like I'm sure the commentary mentioned them loosely here and there, but there was not really any presence felt, if you will, by Cody, the Young Bucks, or Kenny Omega on tonight's show. Kenny Omega is the one that's surprising, because he is the New Japan guy. So you got to wonder what's happening. We're not sure who's renewing, who's not. We know that Cody has signed with All Elite. We know that the Bucks have signed with All Elite. Kenny is still very much up in the air as to where he's going to land.
Well, right. Yeah, like you said, through New Year's Dash, basically between Kevin Kelly and Chris Charlton on commentary, I reckon maybe max of 30 words were spoken about Hangman, Kenny, the Bucks. I don't think they even mentioned the Bucks at all. Like maybe a little bit through the Evil and Sonata Suzuki Gun match. But yeah, it was literally nothing. It was more of a, okay, he beat Omega, or okay, he beat Cody. That was it. Like, and I think,
yeah, even with Hangman Page, it was just, I want to know what the animosity is that Yujiro and Chase have with Hangman Page.
Yeah.
So it's definitely interesting, and it definitely looks as though they're not going to be a part of New Japan moving forward, at least for the time being. So they've definitely lost some star power if that's the case.
Yeah, look, of course they are. I mean, I love Kenny, Bucks, Cody, Hangman, all that. Marty, if he's done. I love all of them. And yes, they are stars, and yes, they have lost that. Like, they potentially have lost that. But I don't think in New Japan's mind they feel like they've lost much step at all, because from what they announced last night, they've just broken another barrier for Wrestle Kingdom for 2020. So we'll touch on that through the cast at the end, but I reckon let's just get straight smash into this Wrestle Kingdom card and break it down, because holy shit, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, look, I mean, as far as Wrestle Kingdom 13 itself overall, I thought it was actually kind of a middling show. Like, it had some very, very good matches, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But to me, I felt like it wasn't great, you know?
No, I get that.
It was a fun show to watch, and it flew by. You know, we're talking 5 hours or so, 4 or 5 hours. I can't remember how long exactly it went, but it completely flew by. I had a blast, by the way, with, you know, our Patreon subscribers now. The Patreon is live. You can find us at patreon.com/theb+, where you can jump on and support us, and in return, you get awesome rewards like joining our Discord, where we live chat through these things. And the Discord was going off. It was a lot of fun being in there. You were at Cheers Bar. How was that?
Oh, mate, I wish I had talked about this even earlier. Big shout out to both New Japan and Bullet Club member Robbie Eagles and the Pro Wrestling Australia crew, who, I guess, through Fight, they paid for it, put it on the screens at Cheers Bar. At the start, I thought it was just going to be like the upstairs section. No, trust me, the entire PWA community was there, and they took over the entire upstairs and downstairs on the big screen. People coming in from the street that didn't even know wrestling were watching it. It was just insane. What a great night. Very special to be able to watch it with a New Japan rostered member. I mean, he's still a PWA guy to me, but he is a New Japan roster member in Robbie Eagles. And it was just cool, like, just as Bullet Club are walking out to the entrance, he's getting all excited and getting everyone G'd up, and he'd come up to me and give me the 2 sweets, the down low 2 sweets, and all that. Very great night, really great turnout, and it made the experience all the better. Like, I've watched every Kingdom pretty much on a couch for the last 5 years, or whatever, but this is unbelievable. I think every major pay-per-view I'll be going with them for that for sure.
It really changes the dynamic, having other people to talk to, like even just doing it online. So we've recently, through some friends of the show, they've showed us a service called Rabbit, where they will get together and watch. Like, I've been watching matches on YouTube with Aiden, for example, where we just go down YouTube rabbit holes, just watching random matches that we can find, and just sitting there talking about the matches in the built-in chat, and of course having the Discord throughout the. I mean, doing Twitter is one thing, but you got to constantly refresh. You got to constantly check the hashtag. This is a chat app, right? So Discord, they actually sent, like, the message goes straight to your phone. So I'm sitting here watching on my computer, taking my notes for the podcast, and also being able to interact with others and get their thoughts live and just enjoy it together and mark out together. It makes it's a completely different experience when you're doing it with other people. Because, for me as well, Wrestle Kingdom's, most New Japan shows have always been spent just in front of the computer and maybe on Twitter at best. Yeah,
this is a great experience. People getting psyched, like, the Zack Sabre Jr. chants, and it's interesting to see how the crowds at the bar were differing between certain people. Like, Jericho got a fair bit of pop there, and certain people, but it was a great experience. But
now I saw a video on Twitter of a bar that was watching. I don't know if this was Cheers Bar. Did you see this video? It was when Okada revealed his thighs, and the entire bar just exploded. Was that Cheers bar, that video, or was that a bar in Japan? I couldn't tell.
Well, I don't know if it was the official one or not, but yes, this Cheers bar exploded with that too. I exploded. I exploded, and I got very marky. I marked out a little bit during that. So.
You marked out to Okada's thighs?
Okada's thighs, and I'm just happy to see those tights back.
All right, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about the actual show. So, Wrestle Kingdom 13, the show started off with the fans versus the servers.
Yeah.
Did you guys have an issue at Cheers Bar, or were you guys all right?
We did. We had the gauntlet match, which we'll touch on, and then after that, there was just like this awkward, like, holy shit, is this going to actually work? Or, but yeah, we got it at the bar.
See, I couldn't get into the gauntlet match even. So for me, I tried to get onto the pre-show, and throughout the first half of the gauntlet match, I just kept getting server is overloaded, too many people, server is overloaded, too many people. I eventually got in just after they did the tease with Yujiro and Chase leaving Elite, like when they did that whole thing with Hangman.
Okay.
Which it's about time they did that, by the way, but I only saw that on replay, right? Because they'd just been eliminated, and it was... Yeah, I was like, what's going on? I haven't seen this. People in the chat were filling me in, which was nice. But yeah, so I came in halfway through that match. But overall, I felt like I couldn't really give that match much of a rating or anything. But overall, I felt like it was an okay match. Not a fan of the Puro Dads winning, though.
Yeah, well, kind of serves its purpose when we touch into New Year's Dash. But yeah, I would much prefer them to keep the Rumble. I just love the little Rumble. It gives a lot of other people a shot on the card, but it was what it was. It was a pre-show match. Just kills me to see Minoru Suzuki and Goto on the pre-show, Marty on the pre-show, Hangman. But look,
look, hang on. Look, we hear this a lot. I've heard this a lot. Oh, it's a tragedy. It's a tragedy that Minoru Suzuki is on the pre-show. Now, what we said on our preview was, how amazing is it that this card is so stacked that you've got Minoru Suzuki and Hiroki Goto on the pre-show, right? I see this as a good thing. I mean, think about it. I'll put it into terms for most like mainstream fans and stuff. Would you rather have Undertaker, right, be the guy who has to sit it out, or would you rather have Seth Rollins be the guy who has to sit it out, right? You want the stars of today. You want those guys to be in the featured spots. We're building to the future, especially if you know that you're losing star power in a couple of days. You want the stars of the future. You want the stars of the now to be the guys on the main show. Minoru Suzuki, I mean, he's always going to be a star. He doesn't need the Wrestle Kingdom card. He doesn't need it, right? Suzuki's always going to pop a crowd. He's always going to pop an attendance. You don't need to have him on the Wrestle Kingdom card. You can have him in that opening match.
Yeah, I get that. I sort of saw it as, especially with Minoru Suzuki's promos with it all, like he feels disgusted in himself, and he's ashamed that he's on there. So just picking up those little vibes and sort of things like that. And but look, the pre-show did what it needed to do. It gave 3, 6, 9, 12, 15 guys a spot on the Wrestle Kingdom card.
I would have preferred the Rumble, though. I stand by that. I would have preferred the Rumble
every day of the week. Yeah.
But moving on to the main card, Ospreay versus Bushi kicking things off. Holy crap! This match was a sprint. It was incredible. It was brutal. I mean, I'm not one for the star system. You know this, but I felt like Wrestle Kingdom kicked off with a 5-star match. To be honest with you.
Oh, absolutely. I have four minimum 5 stars for the night, and this was my first. This, I don't know, this ended quicker than it needed to because of the ending, but I think it probably needed about another 5-10 minutes, but I'm guessing with what happened, they had to call it earlier. But, what a match, hey? Like, seriously, Will and Kota just, I don't know if this is the end of Kota. I mean, he's a free agent every day of the week, so whether he goes to All Elite with the rest of the boys and this is the end of him in New Japan, or we see him a little bit more, he'll be out for at least a month or two with concussion anyway. New Japan don't fuck around with that. So
I do think it's possible that he's all elite bound, but I think the right call was made here either way, even if he's not all elite bound. Giving Ospreay this title makes sense. Ospreay already in the post-match comments is talking about defending it in Ring of Honor. He's talking about defending it in CMLL. He's talking about defending it in Melbourne City Wrestling. You heard that right. And he's posted on Twitter, like when people have pointed this out, and he's like, yeah, I'm booking a tour soon, lads. Like, it's coming. So, the Never Openweight title could be defended here, maybe against like a Tom Philippe or someone who's about to head over into that system anyway. It's really, really exciting stuff having that title around the waist of Will Ospreay, who, for me, was my Wrestler of the Year in 2018, and he looks like he's set to just keep that momentum going, to be honest with you.
Absolutely. Like, unfortunately, that rib injury cost him 3 months at the end of the year, which sucked, and God knows what he could have got done in those last 3 months, but what a year he had, and I guarantee 2019 is just going to be bigger and bigger for Ospreay. What can you say about?
Did you see his tweet and his Instagram post?
Yeah, it's a little dark.
Yeah, so we got to talk about so throughout the match, like he was far more brutal. Like, I mean, Will Ospreay is this guy who can go with the best of him. He's very athletic, and in this match, his strikes were off the chain. Those Tree of Woe slaps when he had Ibushi upside down, the running back fist, like the one that ended the match, the one everyone's talking about. And he posted this: "My reckless style has shortened not only my career but my life. You all wanted change so that I have a longer career. You've just shortened everyone else's."
Yeah, he's looking vicious, and I for sure saw something happening tonight, which didn't happen, but I still stand by it's going to happen. But yeah, I like this little bit of a darker side to Will, a little bit of an edge to him, and it's like, hey, like, do you want me to get vicious on the mat and with my strikes? And he will.
That was the other move. I just remembered. I'm still looking at my notes. The other move that really blew my mind when Ibushi went for the Golden Triangle moonsault, and Ospreay just kicked him square in the chest while he was upside down, like the running soccer kick on the apron. Oh man, it was incredible. It was so stiff. This match was insane, and it got the night off to. It was one of those matches where you felt really bad for everyone who had to come after. Yeah, but and I actually even feel like at a certain point people were told, okay, you got to calm down so that there's stuff for the guys at the end of the show to do, because it was an amazing. They had the callback spot as well when this time it was a flip through on the deadlift German.
Yes.
And they did the cameras just like they did with the top rope Rana, which, again, just brilliant stuff. This match, I cannot rave about this match enough. Watch this match. Yeah. Watch this match. And all the best to Ibushi as well, obviously. We hope he gets better soon.
Absolutely. But do you reckon, what I called earlier, do you reckon it ended probably about 5 minutes earlier than it needed? It was supposed to because of the concussion?
No, I don't think so. I think it was perfect. I think it ended perfectly. Yeah.
But no, fantastic match. Like you said, good luck following that, because the next match, it was fun. It was a great match, but these 6 juniors that followed this match in the tag title match, obviously everyone was already gasping for air just after that first match, so it took a little bit of a blow, but still it was a fun match.
So Suzuki-gun defending the title, so Despy and Kanemaru defending the junior tag gold against junior tag silver against Roppongi 3K and LIJ, and LIJ walk out with the straps. It becomes a theme for the night. First off, I want to say I love the way El Desperado wears the title. Just got to put that out there.
Big time.
Yeah. But Shingo Takagi stands out in this. There's 6 men in the ring here, and Shingo Takagi just stands out like a sore thumb. Like, I think Sho and Yo are both future stars, but just in terms of presence and just the feel of, this guy's special, Shingo just dwarfs everyone else in that ring when it comes to just sheer presence.
Absolutely. And he'll go straight to never probably never. First off, as soon as Hiromu is back.
New Japan are known for their patience, my man. I don't think that he's going to go straight. I think he's going to go. He's got to do the best of the Super Juniors first, right?
Oh, absolutely, yeah, he will, but
he has to.
Yeah.
So he'll have a good run in best of the Super Juniors. He'll probably have a quick 2-month reign as junior champion, and then go on to Never and into the heavyweight.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah,
they'll take their time with it for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, like you said, he just looks like a star, and he will be a star.
It looks like money, smells like money,
and everyone's worrying about the Western popularity of the wrestlers. Someone like a Shingo, helps with the Puro fans or with the Japanese fans there. Like, he'll bring a little bit. Him and Taiji, we'll talk about him later. Both bring years of experience out of Dragon Gate and Noah that. Is handy to the company. Like they need to not just focus on how many awesome Western wrestlers they can get in. They need to get in a couple of Japanese superstars as well to kind of bolster the.
Yeah, no, I think New Japan are definitely in a good position moving forward.
Oh, absolutely.
Right. Like I think they're moving into a building phase because they are losing some top end talent and what have you, but. It's nothing they can't recover from. Like they've lost. It was the same as when they lost AJ and the club, right?
Yeah, and Shinsuke
and Nakamura. Yeah, they lost all 4 of those guys at one time, and now you're losing another 4 all at one time. Cody wasn't really instrumental to New Japan anyway.
No, not really.
But the question is, are they going to lose a couple more? Because they probably will lose a couple more. But I guess we don't know how the meeting played out. There's been zero news. I've been refreshing my feed all day today, and there has been zero news on how the meeting played out, because apparently after Wrestle Kingdom, before New Year's Dash, there was a meeting between New Japan, Ring of Honor, and All Elite Wrestling executives, right? And we have no idea how this meeting played out. But if New Year's Dash is any indication, you got to think it didn't play out well. But there may be more to come. We don't know.
And speaking of relationships, Rev Pro was on show last night, which was awesome to see. They've had the Ring of Honor title in the past, and they've had the TNA title, WCW used to have titles on the Tokyo Dome shows. It's good to see Rev Pro's main title being defended here. I loved it.
Yeah, absolutely. So you had Rev Pro referees, Rev Pro title, everything was Rev Pro here. It was a Rev Pro exhibition match, feature match, if you will. And whoa, this match. This is the thing with New Japan. When they want to put someone over, they fucking put him over, man. Like, there's no bones about it. Like, Zack Sabre Jr. destroyed Tomohiro Ishii in this match. Like, ZSJ had like 80% of the offense, 90% of the offense. It was all Zack Sabre Jr.
He just looks so dominant, and that's scary because Ishii is a very hard man to look dominant against because he's the one that usually looks dominant. But Zack Sabre just looks so good. He looks even better with that strap around his waist. Rev Pro is going to be going into a very exciting, next 6-7 weeks. They've got a lot of cool stuff happening, which we'll touch on Wednesday on the King of Sportscast. But very good times with Rev Pro. And Zack Sabre Jr. is the perfect Rev Pro champion for 2019. To start 2019, I like it.
Absolutely. I'm very excited for the match with Park. You got to assume it's going to become a title match now. He's got a couple of other ones lined up as well. It's going to be a fantastic period for Rev Pro, which is, Britt Rez is dead, man. Britt Rez is dead. I don't know if you heard about this, but
yeah.
But Britt Rez is dead. You know what? Some people said that Dragon Gate was dead when Shingo left, right? And Dragon Gate at the moment is even hotter than it was 3-6 months ago. So when people say something's dead, they're probably wrong. I've been hearing Punk is dead since I was a kid, but Zack Sabre Jr., he's kind of a punk himself, right? But he absolutely destroyed this match, and we all know Zack Sabre Jr. is one of my absolute favorite wrestlers of all time. I love the style, just everything he did here. The story they told with the arm versus the neck was just. It was brilliant. I really enjoyed it, and he gets the win with that double octopus, which, what did the announcers call it? hurrah, another year. Surely this one will be better than the last. And then I stopped listening because it kept going. The name of this move.
I heard a little bit of it, but being in the bar was just too noisy to be able to hear that. But yeah, it was an awesome move. I just loved that. But
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
Christmas has come and gone, and with it, the disappointment of those Secret Santa staples, the shave kit, the sports hygiene packs, and seasonal socks is fading. As we roll on, though, into the new year, it's time to make resolutions. So why not resolve to look better in 2019 and get yourself the gift that keeps on giving and never disappoints, Threadbox. Threadbox is a subscription clothes shopping service which for as little as $40 per month will send you a box of personally curated goodies straight to your doorstep. I get the $160 package which comes with over $200 worth of fresh goodies each month. Kept me looking fly for all my Christmas engagements this year. You get to communicate with the Threadbox stylist assigned to you by email regarding what it is you need, and they will tailor the box accordingly. And in the unlikely event that you don't like what they send you, you send it back, they will replace it with something new and make note of the things you don't like so that they can avoid that kind of thing in the future. Threadbox is a truly unbelievable service that no man should be living without, so head over to threadbox.com.au today and use our code TheB+15 when you check out to get 15% off your first box.
you know what? To transition into the next segment, you're talking about things that are quote unquote dead. Bullet Club, are they dead? Hell no.
They're almost bigger than ever at the moment.
Bad Boy is dead. Good guy.
No, he's the good guy. The good guy, Red Hood, Tamatonga.
Yeah. I'm surprised Jack the Jobber isn't dead yet, but anyway.
What did you think of the red? I love the good guy stuff, but the Red Hood gimmick I can do without that.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah, it's very interesting. I mean, I kind of got a. I don't know. I was expecting. What's that old dance act that used to do that around the world song? Daft Punk. They kind of had a Daft Punk vibe, yeah. And I was like,
oh well, I thought it was a DJ. I thought it was a DJ Z mask at first. See, I'm not a DC guy, so I'm not a DC guy. I'm a Marvel guy. But for me as well, Tamatonga, he makes fun of people for being nerds. I mean, much like the club, nerds. Yeah. But on Twitter and stuff, he's like, I'm not a nerd. I have a life, right? But then you want to come out in a Red Hood getup? I mean, I am a nerd. I am decidedly, avowedly a nerd. And I didn't even realize it was a Red Hood getup. Someone told me, oh, it's Red Hood. And I was like, oh, it is too, right? Like, I know that guy. He's Robin. Yeah, okay, cool. Lame. I'm not a fan. But, each to their own, I suppose. He's a good guy now, though. I like that part. He's a good guy.
Well, the rest of the club aren't. But
New Year, New Tama.
Yeah, New Year, New Tama. But look, let's think positive and let's think of the other LIJ guys to walk out with tag titles. The heavyweights, Evil and Sonata, got the pin on one of the Bucks. I can't remember which one took the pin, but I'm glad that one of the Bucks did take the pin.
Yeah, well, we predicted that. By the way, so far on the main show, every one of our predictions has been correct. Well, at least mine.
Yeah.
I can't remember what all of yours were, but I'm pretty sure we lined up on almost everything.
The only thing I got wrong was the junior tag. I went Roppongi, so.
Right, you went Roppongi and I went with LIJ because I called it. I said LIJ were going to have a clean sweep, and they did. But this match, Young Bucks, Evil and Sonata, GOD, I felt like... And I mean, we've already talked about the story of Young Bucks inserting themselves, and we weren't fans of that or whatever. But I really felt like this match would have been better as a 2-on-2 match between any of these three teams. If you had Evil and Sonata versus GOD, if you had GOD versus the Young Bucks, or if you had Young Bucks versus Evil and Sonata, the match would have been better than it was as a three-team match.
Yeah, I agree with that. But again, they put on their great little spots. If this is the end of the Bucks in New Japan, then they went out in style. I'm glad that they took the pin. I'm glad that everyone that potentially has gone out took the pin, but especially these two.
Yeah. The gun stun counter off the Meltzer driver was really fun. I enjoyed that a lot. But then, Evil and Sonata swoop in with the Magic Killer Moonsault and get the win. But there were some fun spots in the match, but I really think it could have been better. And this was probably, up until this point, was probably the worst match of the night. And this kind of started a bit of a lull. I think this was there was a bit of a lull here now as we moved on to Cody versus Juice. I was really disappointed with Cody versus Juice. I thought it was going to be better than it was.
Yeah, look, I'm going to ask the question. I love Cody to death. Everything about Cody I do love. But something about Cody last night felt off. It felt off to me. Juice, I'm not discrediting Juice. He put in so much energy. Like, there was so much energy out of Juice. There was something missing from this match.
No, definitely something felt off. And is it a matter of the meetings aren't going the way they want it to, and he's letting the businessman sort of the sourness that the business meetings aren't going the way he wanted them to, letting that leak into the ring a little? You want to hope not, because Cody is a consummate professional from everything I hear and read. So I want to say that's not the case, that maybe he's just tired. I don't know. I don't want to make excuses for the guy. The match wasn't great.
It wasn't. And I'm going to stand by and say that is no fault of Juice's. I thoroughly enjoyed Juice's performance. I enjoyed his performance tonight. We'll touch on that soon. I love Juice. I'm happy for him to have that US strap.
I felt like especially the Brandy, because Brandy, and we know I'm a huge fan of Brandy, right? And you just go back and listen to the All In podcast, and Brandy I'm just like, Queen, fucking Queen. Like, I love Brandy Rhodes, but her involvement in this match it was unnecessary. It didn't make sense. Like, with the story, even, I mean, the whole story is Juice overcoming, and so I get that, you know, Brandy is a thing for him to overcome, but in that case, you want him to overcome it with like a kick to the face to get her off the apron or something, right? Like, you don't want. I don't know. It just felt like her getting kicked out by the referee, right? Hattori just sends her to the back, and it just felt it was unnecessary, and it didn't add anything to the match.
No, I completely agree, but yeah, it felt weird. There was just everyone else with at the bar just said it just felt weird to them. It's just like
the finishing sequence though. So I was actually I've succumbed to the Mikey way of doing things, because I got this app called Grapple, and it asks you to give star ratings for matches. Oh, yeah. And so I was going along, I was rating them, and I gave this one 2.5 stars, right? But that extra half a star was solely for the finishing sequence, because there was the super kick into the 2 left hands of God, and then two pulp frictions. Like, one was not enough. He didn't even go for the pin after the first one. He's like, no, I know you're going to kick out of this. I can feel it. That wasn't enough. And he goes for the second one, and he's turning him around slowly. And you're like, oh no, is he not going to get it? He's got to get it. Because the story going into this match, because Cody is up 2-0 over Juice, you need Juice to win. And Juice does have that energy, like we said. So I was firmly behind Juice, and I'm like, oh, maybe the meetings did go well. Maybe Cody's going to win. And they're turning him over slowly. But then he hits it. And so the finishing sequence, I thought, made up for the entire match, to be honest, because I was really excited for that last 40 seconds. Yeah,
absolutely. It was a great. I'm glad that you've succumbed to the system. We just need to get on board with it. That's the thing.
Yeah. The next match had me from before the bell, though, because let's talk about the highlight of Wrestle Kingdom 13. Let's be honest. Let's not beat around the bush. This was the highlight. I thought I was tripping on acid. I thought someone had laced my drink. I had no idea what was going on. Can we talk about Kushida's entrance?
Yeah, like, what? What the hell? If that's
the thing that blew me, like, the kid. So obviously, there's a kid dressed as Kushida, and at first I'm like, is this the Bullet Club making fun of him because he's short? Like, it feels like a very WWE thing to march out a midget. But it became very clear that it was actually a child. But when they zoomed in on the face, he had like a mask that was like a photorealistic mask of Kushida's whole head, like the hair and everything.
Yeah, it felt like the blockhead thing on WWE 2K19. It was so weird. I was like, I wasn't even drinking. Like, I've gone completely I've gone completely sober for the year. Spoiler alert, I'm going to be sober for the entire 2019.
Designated driver Mikey.
For health reasons, mate. But I was completely sober, and I was just like, someone spiked my drink. Like, what the fuck's going on? Like,
just a side note. Sober Mikey needs to take a trip to Adelaide for Iron Fist Pro. Just putting that out there. With the money that you save from not drinking, Iron Fist Pro trip.
Potentially. There's potential.
Make it happen, Mikey. Make it happen. But yeah, no, it was really trippy and really weird, and it was the stuff of nightmares, this mini Kushida, but I loved it. So essentially, Doc Brown comes out, presses a button, blows up the kid disappears, and up comes Kushida from under the floor. Then he's looking badass, got the shades on, got the shirt. It was 7 stars already for this entrance. 7 stars.
Oh, absolutely. If this is the last, 30 hours of Kushida's New Japan career, like there are rumors that he's going to sign with WWE. What a way to
Yes, I said on the pre-show I want him to go to 205 Live. I think he will be perfect.
What a way to go! What a way to go! That last entrance, everyone will remember you for the entrance. But no, it was a fantastic match. I really enjoyed this. Not as good as previous junior matches.
Yeah, I thought it was a good match. I didn't think they gave it their all though.
No, absolutely not.
Again, I feel like this is one of those things where they were like, look, the first couple of matches, like Zack Sabre Jr. and Will Ospreay and stuff, those matches really went balls to the wall. We need someone to slow it down a little because, we've got 3 really big matches coming up. Yeah. So, and I feel like that was the role they played, and they played it well. It was a good match. Again, the ending sequence was really nice. Taiji Ishimori picks up the win with the Bloody Cross. Is that what he calls it? Bloody Cross?
Yeah, Bloody Cross. Right, obviously, right result.
So,
Taiji's the perfect guy to have that junior title. He just personifies the junior division.
And he's absolutely jacked.
Absolutely jacked.
He will sell many of those photo book calendar things that the Japanese like to do.
Absolutely.
Because like you could put him in any fireman calendar, and he would be like, everyone would be like, "Can it stay June forever, please?" Yeah. Right? Like, he's that guy. Like, he's so fucking ripped, it's insane.
Perfect guy to hold the title. I don't see anyone on that roster other than Hiromu or Shingo even coming close to taking it off him in the next 12 months. I don't know anyone in that junior division.
Hiromu's got to be the only guy.
Well, I'm hoping for Shingo to go on a singles run with it. Like Shingo versus Taiji in the junior division would be pretty sick to see. But other than those 3, and maybe I wouldn't mind seeing either Sho or Yo have a little bit of a singles run or something like that. But other than that, perfect guy to hold the title. Like you said, like I enjoyed the match, but it was far from perfect, obviously.
Yeah. So then we move on to the 3 main events, and we start with one that just, for me, I mean, I thought this match was going to go a lot longer. It didn't go as long as I thought. Not as long as your normal Okada match, but Okada versus Jay White. Battle of the New Gear. Both guys looked absolutely mint. And when I say new gear, what's old is new again in the case of Okada.
Yeah. Well, I want to...
He ditched it for long enough that this felt new again. I mean, you saw the video of the people popping. You were at the bar. You were there. Everyone popped for it. It was amazing.
Well, first off, I want to make a little mention that of both Gato and Jay's attire. So as soon as they walked out, I turned to Robbie and looked at him, and I was just like, "What the fuck are those pants? They're sick." And he's just like, yeah. He's like, "I knew about the pants." He said to me, he goes, "Hey, Mikey, do you reckon that Gato kind of looks like a caddy?" And I was like, "Oh fuck, I'm not going to be able to get that out of my head now." And he's like, everyone around us just started cacking, and I'm just like, I can't get the caddy thing out of my head now. And then Okada comes out with it. I mean, you see Okada with those ties, you're like, oh my god, the Rainmaker's back. Everyone has a.
Well, when the music hit and it was the old music and he had the robe and everything was Okada's back. Okada's back, which it's pretty cool to see. Like, it was unlike when just. Can we talk about this for a second? I mean, before I guess we'll talk about it in the main event. But for some reason, Kenny Omega just reverted to the cleaner the day before they hold the Fan Fest, the situation, and Kenny Omega reverted to being the cleaner for some freaking reason. And it was really weird. This reversion, the Okada reversion, made sense because the whole story was about getting back there. Kenny Omega's story was about shedding the cleaner persona, but we'll get to that. But Okada's story was about he lost himself and needed to find himself again, right? And in having to face down his former student Jay White, in having to face down this punk kid that wants to take his place, that wants to dethrone him. He was able to reclaim. I mean, he's the head of Chaos again, right? He was able to reclaim that. There's no dispute anymore. Jay White's gone. He's Bullet Club. I am Okada, and he's back, and it was amazing. And then he lost. Clean as a whistle.
Yeah. Clean as a whistle. Like, seriously, Jay White. Everyone needs to get on board with Jay White. I know there's still some doubters out there. I fucking love him so much. Jay White, over the last 30 hours, we keep talking about it, potential certain loss. Having Jay White there at the top, I love him. And the match, yeah, it was good. It was a great match. Out of the 4, let's just say, Meltzer matches, this was probably number 4 for me, but still a really great match. Jay White just looked so strong in that, and I didn't think they were going to let him be that strong in this match. Like, I knew he was going to get the win, and I knew he was going to look good, but I didn't think...
We thought there'd be shenanigans.
Yeah, absolutely, and
there wasn't. It was just clean as a whistle, reversed the Rainmaker into the Blade Runner.
Yeah.
It was over. I thought when he hit the spinning Rainmaker, I'm like, okay, here comes the real Rainmaker. It's over. But no, it was reversed. Blade Runner. I popped. Huge. It's over. What? How did that happen? 5 stars. Amazing match. Shorter than I thought. But here's the thing with Okada. I have never watched an Okada match that is not just... He has this uncanny sense for when to put what moves.
Yeah.
Like, the matches always feel impeccably paced. Like, whether it's a 15-minute match, I don't think he ever has a match that goes less than 15 minutes, right? Like, this was on the shorter end of Okada matches. And whether it's a 12, 15-minute match or a 30-minute epic, or a 60-minute epic that he puts on, every single match you watch with this guy, everything happens for a reason, and every move is placed to garner the biggest reaction, and it just works. He's uncanny in how good he is at it. I don't think I've ever seen anyone with that sense the way he has it.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's so weird with the whole face thing with Okada, though. Like, we'll talk about it when we get onto the news dash stuff. It just feels so weird seeing him as a super babyface at the moment. But
seeing him smile and stuff.
But speaking of smiling, no one was smiling on the next one.
Oh man, Jericho and Naito was brutal. Let me just say this too. Both of them are such tryhards. I get heat for saying this because people are like, what? No, Naito's so effortlessly cool. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's the guy that your little sister thinks is effortlessly cool, right? But he spends 3 hours picking out which of his Hot Topic shirts he's going to wear. And as well, by the way, the fact that he's the kind of guy that would probably shop at Hot Topic is ironic since he would be wearing Chris Jericho shirts. I don't know. To me, both... and Jericho, we talked about on the pre-show, he's that dad on the block that thinks he's one of the boys, It's like, no, dad, you're old, all right? Just accept that you're old. Like, yeah, you still do badass stuff sometimes, sure, okay? But you're still old, okay? You can't be with us. You can't sit with us.
Wow.
Sorry, hot takes here, hot takes. I just think they're both so lame, but I love it. Don't get me wrong. I love both of these guys immensely.
Yeah, look, you are right. They're both. I mean, compared to the rest of LIJ or even LI Mexico, he is probably the lamest, the biggest tryhard out of all of them. People like Sonata and Evil just ooze charisma in their own special way. But
I mean, look, LIJ though. LIJ is the Morgoth stable. Like, people disagree with me on this, but I can't see them as anything else other than those dudes that hang around at the mall wearing the really bad, metal band t-shirts and stuff. And there's the one who wears the punk jacket, right? That's Hiromu. He's the one that's actually possibly cool, right? and he's like the quieter one, and he's like Hiromu is actually really cool, but like the other guys, they're all like Naito is like the fake rebel. He has really rich parents, you know, and so he hangs out with these kids just to piss off his parents. Like that's who Naito is, and he's like, I don't care about anything, man. But really, we know you do, right? Like, oh, you don't want this title? Yeah, bullcrap, you don't want this title, right? Like you fight like death for it, so obviously you want this title. I don't know. The whole thing's weird to me.
Yeah.
They're more goths. I can't see them as anything else.
But then again, Jericho even looks like a goth right now, so.
Jericho's just lose the face paint, man.
Yeah.
Naito was right on that one. Lose the face paint. But anyway, the match itself, whoa. Like, it started out just insane, just brutal straight away.
Just hard hitting straight away. Like, and like, we'll talk about it in a minute, but Naito had another horrible night tonight, but look, he won that IC title. He technically doesn't give a shit about the IC title. He knows that. We all know that.
I don't like that either, by the way. I really don't like that. I've said it before. The whole, I don't want the title, like, I'm above it. It's, no, dude, yeah, that's pretty fucking weak. Like, put it over, for fuck's sake.
I understand the animosity, though, because it still eats away at him that when he was going for the world title, the IC title headlined over him at the Kingdom, and he's still salty at the IC title for that. So,
right, but this is the problem with millennials, okay? Stop crying and complaining that you're not in the world heavyweight picture scene and make the intercontinental scene great again,
yeah.
right? That's what you got to do. Just take this. If you're sour grapes that they think someone else should be the face of the company and you're not, take this belt and make it mean more than that belt, and then shove it up their ass and be like, I'm going to All Elite Wrestling. They're going to pay me more. I'm out, bitches. Like why? Like, why would you? I don't care. Like, because it feels like in interviews, and I never know what's shoot or work, and because we rely on translations, it's hard to know. But it feels like this is like, shoot, he just doesn't, he hates the fact that he's booked around the Intercontinental title. He wants to be in the World Heavyweight picture. And it's like, dude, just fucking make it mean more.
Yeah.
Like, go out there and kill yourself like you did in this match, because this match was insane, and make the title mean something.
I absolutely agree. But I understand his story with it. I don't know. I get it. Because
again, rich entitled kid. True.
But no.
That's all. But again, cannot stress enough how good the match was. That DDT on the fucking table, dude. Holy shit. I thought he was dead. I legitimately, because after that, it seemed like they were stalling a little. And I thought that like he'd legitimately gotten hurt because he was a little bit loopy and it looked like they were stalling for time to figure out what to do next. It was...
Well, I wish they showed the table afterwards, because Kevin Kelly kept mentioning that there's actually a dent in the table, and I'm like, can you show it? Like, I want to see the dent. Like, I want to see, like...
Yeah, right? They should have lingered on it. I mean, look, as well, Kevin Kelly, with one of the calls of the night, mentioning that, you know, Jericho has gone from one of the best, most innovative high flyers, you know, when he was in New Japan 20 plus years ago, one of the best, most innovative high flyers and juniors, into a Bruiser Brody-esque figure, I think is what he said. And I was like, oh man, you nail that too. Because like just the insane, like the brawling outside the ring. Oh man, like I like the way Suzuki brawls outside the ring, but Jericho does it better. Like it's just, this was amazing. Everything about this match was amazing. The suplexes on the ramp, the DDT on the table. There was I had a lot of fun with this match.
Oh, absolutely. And that chair shot when he's on the turnbuckle and he threw that chair at his head. Oh,
yeah.
It was just brutal. And
Naito got something too, like the baseball bat spots with the kendo stick. That was really fun.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. Teeing him up. Yeah, it was a really good match. But ultimately, Jericho falls to two Destinos, two finishes again to get the win for Naito.
And Jericho's 0-2 it. Jericho's 0-2 at Kingdom.
Well, that's his job. He's there to put people over, to make stars for the Western fans. Jericho is having the run of a fucking lifetime, man. Like, I give shit on him for being the old guy. But like, he's putting on some of the best matches of his career. I'm really enjoying watching Jericho, and I hope I get to watch Jericho for another 20 fucking years, to be honest.
Yeah, and knowing Jericho, he'll probably give you another 20 fucking years. So, no, he's an ultimate professional. He is the perfect version of a veteran in the business. He's doing exactly what someone in his position should be doing. Everything.
Yeah, but if only he didn't seem so concerned with looking cool.
I mean,
that's the only thing I can't get off it. I know.
This is still the same guy that put over Fandango at WrestleMania 5 years ago. Every major show, apart from AJ 3 years ago, which in honesty really made AJ even bigger. Like, I thought AJ should have beat him at that Mania, but Jericho literally puts over these people every year, and it's just, he plays the veteran guy perfectly because...
Well, that's the thing. He came up under the oppressive WCW regime where, you know, things like the finger poke of doom were happening. Yeah. You know, he came up where everyone was holding onto their spot. No, I got to be the guy. I got creative control. And so he saw all that, and he saw how poisonous that was. And he has always been about doing the right. I can't fault Jericho at all. Jericho has the right mindset on the business for sure. Yeah, and he's a genius of it too. He's a genius at it.
So let's speak about another veteran genius, the Japanese veteran, Mr. Hiroshi Tanahashi is back. Is back with that IWGP title wrapped around his waist. Oh, it looks good.
Right.
Oh, it looks good.
So the jacket's going to look proper again because he has the bit like that's cut out for the title, but he hasn't had the title in how long? Yeah, it's good that he has that back. I mean, look, we called it. I thought it would go a different way. I thought he was going to turn heel, but then the day before they spring this thing on me at the Fan Fest with Kenny Omega being the heel, and I think that what happened was maybe they couldn't work things out with All Elite Wrestling and New Japan. And this is pure speculation because nothing has come out about these meetings. So I'm purely speculating at this point, but my read on the situation is, here's what happened. All Elite Wrestling and New Japan Pro Wrestling couldn't come to terms. So Kenny Omega was made decidedly heel. Because we talked about this leading in, how it was like, okay, Kenny's probably going to play the heel in the match. Yes, he's probably going to play the heel in the match. But the story is such that it's a clash of styles, a clash of ideologies, and there's no right or wrong, right? And we sung the praises of that story. And then the day before, they have Kenny Omega basically revert to the cleaner. He's got all the dark hair and everything again, and he's speaking only English, not speaking Japanese. He's talking about how the fans turned on him. No, they didn't. That never happened. He's talking about how New Japan management give Hiroshi Tanahashi the movie. They give him all this, the documentary and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you also have a documentary coming out on HBO. None of this makes any sense whatsoever. Why are you turning your back on all this? Narratively, to me, this was a reversion in the worst possible way. It was undoing 2 years of work. And I think that was New Japan possibly being salty, being like, all right, All Elite Wrestling's not working out. Kenny says he really wants to go do this All Elite Wrestling thing, so he's probably not going to be here, so let's just fuck his character in the arse.
Yep. And
that's what it felt like to me. And so moving in, he was the heel, and I was like a definitive heel, and in the worst possible way. Like, people talk about how racist it was in WWE to have like the Iron Sheik and go against the conquering American hero Hulk Hogan and stuff, right? This is the same thing. This is a Japanese hero being like, I hate Kenny Omega because he's not Japanese and he wants to come in here. And Kenny Omega loves Japan. Like, he's playing this character that's supposed to be here to corrupt the Japanese wrestling, but that's not what he is at all. And the whole thing felt off to me because of that.
And you know what? New Japan still are able to do what they wanted to do, and that is move the next young guy into that main event scene. And you know what? I thought it was going to be Kenny retaining, Kenny dropping it at New Beginning on his way out. If he was on his way out, I saw that happening. However, they've gone the other route. They've given the veteran the transitional role. Tanahashi isn't going to hold the title for long. I promise you that. I promise within 2 months he'll no longer have the title. But it makes the next guy look even stronger. Because yes, while Kenny is the number one guy in the world, Tanahashi, regardless of when Okada gets up to the number one status of NATO is the most popular guy or whatever, Tanahashi is still the fucking ace of New Japan. He's still the John Cena of New Japan. There's no doubting that he's still the guy. 20 odd years in, this is his 20th year in the company. He's still the guy. And, the next guy that comes in and beats him, which we're all we know, we'll touch on it in the next 5 minutes.
It's going to be Jay White.
It's going to be Jay White. And Jay White is going to look good taking it off Tanahashi. It would have looked better, Jay White taking it off Kenny, but you know what? Jay's going to take it off the ace. So.
No, I think I like Jay White taking it off the ace. It fits his character more. Because if you want to see, here's the thing. If you want to tell the story of the guy coming in and wanting to corrupt it and all that, if you're going to tell that stupid racist trope, I'm a Japanese person and I'm going against an evil foreigner, then Jay White's your man.
Oh, yeah.
Jay White's the guy to do that with, not Kenny Omega. It makes no sense with Kenny Omega. But anyway, the match itself was a really, really good match. Went for about 40 minutes, I think. And it was exactly what you think. It was that Battle of Styles. Kenny Omega was absolutely vicious, but it wasn't enough. And he came out dressed as a one-winged angel, but he never hit the one-winged angel. So the one-winged angel still has not been kicked out of, other than by Kota Ibushi. Yeah. So, but yeah, Tanahashi wins. It was a really, really good match. When Kenny got the knees up at the very last second on the high fly flow, I thought he broke his ribs for sure. Looked insane. And then after that, he went through a fucking table, like face first, rib first.
Yeah.
Insanity. I don't want wrestlers to kill themselves for my entertainment, but man, am I grateful that they did.
I had someone come to me today. Shout out to my cousin Matty Riley. He came up to me and said, for years you've always, hyped on Tanahashi and he's never really got into it. He goes, but last night really sold me on how good Tanahashi's been. I'm like, the guy's been dealing with injuries for about a year or two. So, like, even at his lowest point, he's still been thereabouts. He's just kind of looked, but now he is back at the top of the game and he looks so good.
Yeah. I like Tanahashi a lot. I think Okada is the better wrestler. I just think, I think Tanahashi is a little bit too, we've talked about it before, a little bit too formulaic. Work the leg, blah, blah, all that. He has the best looking dragon screw in the history of professional wrestling, though.
Oh, yeah.
I'll say that much. Yeah. But, like, he finishes with the high fly flow. It's not even the best frog splash in the business.
No.
You know?
No. He just makes everything look so cool, though. I love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, well, this match is a brutal contrast to the last match, where Jericho and Naito are both, like, super tryhards. These guys are both effortlessly cool. And it comes from the fact that they don't give a shit. Like, Kenny Omega is lame as hell. He is super lame. He's a nerd. He openly acknowledges how much of a nerd he is. He came out in a freaking one-winged angel costume to video game music, right? Like, literally, his new theme was a remix from a video game, which, by the way, the title of that song, The Last Goodbye.
Yeah, it's very interesting little point.
Yeah, just a little note for you. But, we have, he's a super nerd. But because he just embraces it and leans into it and doesn't try to be anything else, these guys are both effortlessly cool. So this is a brilliant contrast to the previous match. Interesting note here as well, and big thanks to Luke, our Patreon backer Luke, for pointing this out in the Discord chat. That was the first time since they introduced the contract shot in 2012. That was the first time that the G1 winner actually won at Wrestle Kingdom with their title shot. So Tanahashi is the first to successfully win following the G1.
I like that. I liked it. It's a cool stat. Kenny's kind of been the king of those sort of stats in the last couple of years, but yeah.
Well, now all we need is someone to, because eventually the contract has to change hands, right? Like the G1 winner has to defend it and lose. That's the next big one that has to happen, because that hasn't happened yet.
No, that's true. No, that's never happened. So you're thinking either this year or next year there'll be a change of contract. But yeah, what do you think of the show overall? Like, where are you at overall with the entire show?
Overall, I think I really enjoyed it. It was a very good show, but it wasn't, it wasn't the best Wrestle Kingdom. It didn't have the highest highs. It was good. It was good. I think I made a joke in the main event that this match was average, right? And people were like, what do you mean this is average? I'm like, well, it's Tanahashi and Kenny Omega. They both average 5 stars, yeah, generally speaking. So it was an average match. And in that note, it was a good New Japan show in the sense that they tend to put on good shows, but nothing really super stood out, I don't think.
No, I mean, other than the main event and Will and Coda, nothing major, but still, just...
I actually preferred Okada and Jay White to the main event.
Yeah.
Hot take. Yeah, controversial, I know. But I prefer Okada and Jay White personally. I love the crowning of a new guy, and this feels like the start of something huge for Jay White. And, he didn't even let Tanahashi have his post-match comments to himself. He came out and Jay White, on the post-match comments that they do backstage, Jay White straight away challenging Tanahashi, saying that he's coming for the title. Chris Jericho as well. It looks like Chris Jericho is actually going to be sticking around in New Japan for a while, because he said that he wants Tanahashi. He wants a title shot. I got to think that Chris Jericho gets a title shot first, and then we'll move on towards Jay White, and Jay White will take it.
Yeah, because you got to imagine what they're going to build towards to a supercard. So
yeah. With all the elite guys gone, I'm so curious as to what's going to happen at this supercard. Is it just going to be a crappy Global Wars show? They've got to make this special. Like this Madison Square Garden card has to be special, and I'm feeling a bit nervous about it now.
Yeah, I mean, especially with NXT moving night on that weekend, it'll be interesting to see how New Japan and Ring of Honor play. Now they don't technically have the competition. Yeah,
they're unopposed. Yeah, I mean, because here's what you don't want, right? You don't want it to be a Bullet Club versus Ring of Honor 10-man tag main event. You don't want that, right? You don't want Killer Elite Squad versus Beer City Bruisers, right? like this is not what we want for the Ring of Honor versus New Japan Madison Square Garden card. But with the loss of the Elite, I mean, now you're not going to have Kenny Omega versus Kota Ibushi, which is one that everyone thought that has to happen at the Garden. You're not. I don't know. There's a lot of matches off the table now, but I mean, we could still get something incredible, like I don't know, maybe Tanahashi versus Jay Lethal.
Yeah, or the Tanahashi Jericho match. Jericho is more than.
Ooh, does Jericho do WrestleMania weekend for New Japan
and WWE? No,
interesting. And then he shows up in WWE the next night. No, look, here's something as well to note. This was the highest attendance they've ever had. We talked about on the pre-show that it was the fastest selling, right? They ended up cracking 38,000, which was 4,000 more than last year. And year over year, these things have been growing for the last 5 years. So really good news for New Japan. They're in a good position moving forward. They're getting more and more popularity. More people are flying in to watch these shows. We have some friends over there at the moment watching the shows. Shout out to Lyle from On the Turnbuckle is one specifically I can think of off the top of my head. But, it's becoming a huge thing. It's becoming Japan's WrestleMania in a lot of ways. And people, I got to say this. A lot of people were like, Kenny Omega's title run was shit. I disagree. Look at the numbers, right? You look at the numbers. The main event was Tanahashi versus Kenny Omega, and you had the highest attendance of all time, right? For this show.
Yeah, exactly right. And based off that success, New Japan, let's talk about it right here, right now, since we're talking about this stuff. New Japan have broken even more ground by next year. Wrestle Kingdom 14 is going to be a 2-show event. There's going to be 2 Wrestle Kingdom nights, the 4th and the 5th, the first ever wrestling promotion to hold back-to-back in a stadium. Do they get 35,000 each night? Like, do they get average at least 30,000 each night?
It's a risky move. I mean, Jericho, on his last podcast, Jericho was talking about, I told New Japan, you got to run a bigger arena the night after, right? Because they got to, was it Korakuen, right? Yeah, he's like, you got to go somewhere bigger because, like with WrestleMania and the Raw after WrestleMania, you have a big arena for those shows because it feels big. And you don't have to have it as big as the WrestleMania, though. That's the thing. So they're doing 2 nights back-to-back in the Tokyo Dome. Very interesting choice. Very interesting choice. So they listened to Jericho a little too well.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, I'm going to do, this is my Harold Mage now. Harold Mage is just Vince McMahon. Oh, they want to run in a bigger venue. We'll run in the same venue. God damn it. That's Harold Mage now to me in my mind. But
I mean, look, they sold out the show in was it Charlotte? Yeah, North Carolina.
North Carolina, yeah.
So the North Carolina
they
show.
Got Nashville as well.
They added in Nashville. In Nashville.
They're kicking off the G1 next year in America,
Dallas,
in Texas.
Dallas.
Yeah.
Yep. At the American Airlines Arena too. Like not just where the Dallas Mavericks play, like where they did.
So
NXT
they're making some ballsy moves in 2019, man. Ballsy moves. A 7,000 seat arena in the UK as well was one of the shows.
Yeah. Yep. So big year for New Japan ahead. But speaking of New Year, let's touch on tonight. New Year's Dash. The start of a new year for New Japan. What do you think? Well,
like we said, it looks like it's going to be a bit of a rebuilding year. They've lost some stars. They're sort of repositioning figures on the board. So we finally got the Chase and Yujiro reuniting with the Bullet Club. They were still wearing Bullet Club t-shirts. It was fucking weird. Why were they ever considered as part of the elite? It didn't make any sense. So at least that's done, and they're back home with the Bullet Club for now, which is good.
I feel that their kick out of the G1 in San Fran last year was an accident. I feel they weren't supposed to be. I feel they weren't supposed to be out there to cop the abuse, but they're back home. They're back home with their family. A couple of things from tonight. The 6-man between Ospreay, Goto, and Ishii versus Nagata, Cobb, and Kushida. That was a fantastic 6-man match. That was so good. Ishii and Nagata nearly killing each other at the end.
Yeah,
that will set up. Yeah, that will set up a one-on-one at the New Beginning, one of the shows. I'll do that for sure.
I just think it's crazy that these are all. I mean, these are all undercard guys. Like, these aren't main event guys, right? None of these guys are main event guys, but any of them could be at any moment.
Yep, absolutely.
So yeah, the future. There's. Well, I mean, we don't know how many people are sticking around, how many people are going elsewhere, but it looks bright. It looks good. But I just thought it's crazy to me that all 6 of these guys, I love all 6 of these guys so much, and that all 6 of them are just undercard guys. Like we're not in any trouble here. Another interesting thing was, of course, the turn, finally, Chucky. Why Chucky? Why is what we would hear if it was in the United States. But yeah, Chucky turned on Beretta.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah.
I don't know why I personally see Beretta as the heel more. I don't know why they went with Chucky. I mean, Chucky's works heel fantastically, don't get me wrong. He used to do some heel work in Chikara and stuff but that I really enjoyed. But I don't know. I see Beretta more as the heel here. I don't know why they went with Chucky.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. But look forward to now, from the look of it, Beretta and Juice, that will be happening in the next. So a lot of these things are going to start happening at the New Beginning shows. So I expect Beretta and Juice to be a US title match at New Beginning, potentially the one in America. That sounds about right. So that's going to lead that. Yeah, that was a fun match.
Yeah, so Yujiro and Chase rejoined the Bullet Club, helping them retain the 6-man titles, which I thought they'd lose them, to be honest, but it looks like Bullet Club are going to stay strong for the time being with those titles. And then we have, this was probably the match of the night for me and the highlight of the night, Suzuki Gun versus LIJ. This match was insane.
God, gave me shivers. It took me back to 2 years ago when Suzuki-gun came back from their exodus and their little Noah stint to come back and
just caused chaos everywhere they went. Yeah.
Yeah, well, literally destroying chaos that night. It just felt like that. Like, all they were missing was Archer, Davey, and Izuka being out there with them, and they just looked so good.
I like the restoration of the anarchic attitude. I'd like to see Archer start spitting water again.
Yeah,
as a part of this, I miss the water spitting, but Taichi starting the match off just breaking a chair over Naito's head before the bell, like holy shit! And then it was just chaotic for the entire match, just people everywhere.
Yeah, like in standard Suzuki-gun style, but they looked vicious for the first time in a while. Like, they always looked vicious as singles. Like, don't get me wrong, every time Suzuki or Archer's in the ring, Suzuki or Sabre is in the ring, you know you're in for a shit night. But
the rest of the guys had been kind of on the losing end.
Yeah, but even like Despy getting really psycho and almost unmasking Bushi, and just all of it. But obviously the big story out of this is Taichi pinning Tetsuya Naito the night after he beats Jericho.
Yeah.
Holy fucking shit.
Insane.
Like, you think there's a match with Bushi involved, he's going to be the pin eater, but oh my god, Taichi pinning Tetsuya Naito.
It looks like we're heading into an LIJ Suzuki-gun program, right? With not only Taichi and Naito, because it seems Taichi's going to be the first challenger there for the Intercontinental title, which people will say, oh, it's a step down from Jericho. No, it's a step up for Taichi. Get it right. So I think that's fantastic, because I like I go back and forth on Taichi. I'm very hot on him sometimes, and then he wrestles, and I get less hot on him.
Yeah.
But I do like Taichi, and I liked Taichi a lot in this match, and I liked their finish, so I'm very excited for this. But also, you got a simultaneous Zack driver and Gotch-style pile driver on Evil and Sonata. So it looks like we're getting those Rev Pro Tag Team Champions, right? Translating over, they didn't come for the fucking tag league, which pissed us off. Like, you've got a ready-made tag team there that are killing it on the other side of the world. But now we're going to get them. They're going to go for those tag team titles for sure. For sure.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And they will win it, and they will look dominant.
Yeah, I don't see how you don't give it to them, to be honest with you, which sucks because I really like LIJ All Belts.
Absolutely. But even Kevin Kelly called it, like, you know, he called it how they're British heavyweight tag champs. He's like, you know, like, good luck to the entire roster at Rev Pro. Like, he even quoted Aussie Open and the Hunters, whatever they're called. And he's just like, you know, good luck to any of them because no one's stopping them. Like, if they capture the heavyweight tag titles, not even anyone in New Japan are going to stop them unless, you know.
Let's be real about it. Yeah.
Unless Tanahashi and Okada, you know, go for a tag run sometime, but the superpowers.
Which I still think they will.
Oh, yeah. World Tag League this year. Come on. Yeah. But that was just awesome. And I agree there's going to be a little bit of... I mean, Suzuki-gun and LIJ have had some great rivalries over the last 12 months. Like, the whole thing with Naito and Suzuki last year. That was beautiful. So, realign it. I love it.
The thing I'm noticing is now that JY is firmly over in Bullet Club and the Elite are gone, all the confusion on who's with who, on what the teams are, is fading away. Everything is firming up for the new year, which is good. We're going to have some proper, these guys are the good guys, these guys are the bad guys, they're going to fight. You know, we'll still have the hierarchy of good and bad and all that, but we're going to have a lot of very firm, stable warfare, which I like. None of the internal struggle shit. Which, yeah. I mean, the internal struggle shit can be good at times. We really enjoyed it, of course, when God did that turn on the Elite and all that stuff happened. It was a lot of fun, big pop moment. But then it kind of turned to crap after a while. And then it got good again, but then it never paid off. And so internal struggles are always a bit rough. We still don't know who the mole is in Chaos, though. That could be the last piece to fall out. So I thought it would happen in this main event, but it didn't. So Okada, Tanahashi, Yoshihashi versus Jay White, Fale, and Gedo. It was a good main event, but it wasn't as good as the previous match, in my opinion, just because the previous match was chaotic and amazing. Ultimately, Jay White wins with a Blade Runner to Yoshihashi. They made a big deal about this being Yoshihashi's back, right? Because after he hurt himself on that fall.
Yeah.
Anyway. Botchamania. But they made a big deal about Yoshihashi being back, and so I was like, he's the mole. He's got to be the mole. He's got to be the mole. They're making a big deal out of it. They're making such a big deal out of it. I bet he doesn't get much in the match. But then him and Jay White just beat the shit out of each other for a while, so I'm like, okay, maybe he's not the mole. And then nothing happened. It was just a clean win, and then a nice promo from Jay White afterwards. You know, of course, he's coming for the title. He's coming for Tanahashi. It was good, but it was just kind of, okay, this is happening. We expect this.
Yeah. Well, see, my belief, I thought that Ospreay was going to be the turnpike. I genuinely thought he was going to be the turner. I feel that Ospreay would suit being in Bullet Club.
Yeah. Are we even going to get a payoff to this mole thing? Because it was just something that was mentioned in the post-match comments, and maybe there is no mole. Maybe it was just a mind game.
I don't know. New Japan like to forget things, but maybe. I feel
I'm not suggesting they forget it. I'm suggesting maybe it's just he was playing mind games. There was never really a mole.
Yeah, potentially. I'll tell you what, you're saying about the confusion of the stables. So, yeah, you got the two now heel stables. Suzuki-gun and Bullet Club are now the two, main heel stables. LIJ is in the middle. Then you got this, you do have a confusing as all hell Chaos / New Japan main unit.
No, they're both faces. Chaos are faces now.
But do you reckon, you remember a couple of months ago Tanahashi was calling he wanted to start a new stable? Do you reckon there's maybe a potential like babyface stable of like kind of like a super best friends kind of style of like Tana, Okada, Yoshihashi, like a couple of other little pieces, like if Kushida stays or something like that. I could see a little babyface stable that's more exciting than Taguchi Japan, which I love Taguchi Japan, but let's be real, they're card openers or dark match guys. But I could see like just in that the main event of New Year's Dash, I just felt like those three looked really good as a little stable. I was like, yeah, I kind of like it. There's like a baby face.
I can see that. I think that Yoshihashi needs to form his own identity, to be honest with you.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, because he's just too much the guy that hangs around with them. He's the guy that hangs around with Okada that Tanahashi also likes. There's nothing, I don't know. But yeah, overall New Year's Dash, it was again, it was all right. It wasn't bad. There was the action was good. There were a few really good moves, a few really good things that happened, like the Chase and Yujiro going back to Bullet Club and firming that up, and also the big Suzuki-gun stuff, as we said, was amazing. But really, it's in terms of setting the pieces, it didn't make any huge moves, and I feel like a big part of that. I mean, we didn't get any mention at all of the Elite, of Cody, of the Young Bucks, of Kenny Omega. I think that of Hangman Page, of course, as well. I think it's a matter of let's wait and see what's happening. I think that even New Japan aren't sure what's happening. They're still having meetings. They're still working stuff out, and so maybe nothing big can happen yet.
Well, right, because I guess we're gonna have to wait till the press conference to know more. Because let's be honest, the next, like now, as good as Wrestle Kingdom's been, the New Japan roster is now going to be all separated across the world over the next month. Like half of them are in the UK doing Rev Pro stuff. CMLL are coming to New Japan next week. They do their little Fantastic Mania week, so some of them will stay back for that. Like you got Jay White over in Rev Pro next week. You got Zack Sabre back this week for Rev Pro. So everyone's everywhere. So you're not going to know official things about New Japan until the New Beginning week, really, and New Beginning show. So, and then by then, Kenny's contract will officially be over, 30th of January. So it's going to be very interesting.
Yeah, so they've got some time to work things out. Now, do you think that we wait for the All Elite Wrestling press conference before we do our next King of Sportscast, or do you think we're going to have enough to go with on Wednesday?
Yeah, no, I mean we should have enough to do at least a little cast, because I do want to preview a bit of the Fantastic Mania. I know a little bit more about the Fantastic Mania shows. I know which CMLL guys are coming, especially me being a CMLL mark. I'll definitely get excited for this, because half the shows are in English this year, thank God, and on New Japan World, which is going to be beautiful. A lot of Rev Pro stuff happening over the next week. So, yeah, it should be fine. But I'm definitely keen for a live or straight after podcast or whatever for the press conference, because that's going to be a huge moment in wrestling history, I feel.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to it. So you guys can keep an eye out in the feed for those. Where can people find you, Mikey?
At BigBoy_Mikey86 on the Twitters and Instagram.
And I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit. We are the B Plus Wrestling everywhere else except for Patreon. I know this is very confusing and I'm sorry, but at Patreon, it's just patreon.com/the B Plus. Now, Patreon is the best way that you guys can support us. Basically, you throw us a couple dollars each month and you're going to get some rewards in return. Things like special custom episodes where you dictate who is on the show and what we say. Not like you're not going to give us a script, but you're going to give us the topics and what have you. Call-in shows are something that we're starting to organize as well. As Patreon subscribers sign up, we have that special Discord where we interact and talk wrestling all day, every day, which is really, really fun. There's other stuff in there too. Like I was talking about, that new Netflix special Bandersnatch, which no one else in the freaking chat has done. So if you've done Bandersnatch and you want to talk about it with me, come on the Discord. But you can find all that stuff. All the rewards and everything are listed at patreon.com/the B Plus. It is the best way to support what we do here. If you like what we do here, if you believe in the mission of watch global, support local, every dollar that we get from this and from advertising is all going to go straight back into the B Plus to help grow this, to help expose our Aussie wrestlers to the world. We really believe in this and we want to help this thing grow. So help us out if you feel like it, and we would really appreciate that. Another really good way to help us out is to check out our sponsors, of course, Threadbox, All Aussie Travelers. All Aussie Travelers are going to send you to Mania for $6,500. Like, holy shit, that's an insane deal. So check out our sponsors, go to the Facebooks, hit the likes button, hit the subscribe button, hit the share button. As always, though, thank you so much just for listening.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon. You just made the list. Oh my God!
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Yeah.
Goodbye and good night.
Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it!
Dummy. Yeah. Hold three. The moss covered.